Chapter 21, Part 3, Brief. Definition. Recent is a period of time immediately before the appraisal is being made, that a comparable is being made in which the prices in area have relatively stable. So highlight stable and highlight immediately before. So basically, when you buy a property, you look at what is immediately before the appraisal
is being made, yeah.
Yeah, and this mostly comes in the exam. They'll ask you the meaning of recent. Similar. A process of comparing other properties to your subject property that are similar by comparison. So highlight process of comparing and highlight subject property. Okay. These are factors having a major influence on buyers and sellers. So highlight major influence. So recent and similar give you actually 1 or 2 marks.
Yeah.
Next is appraisal process. The property being appraised is called the subject property. So any property when we list, so that is the subject property. First step in the appraisal process, the reason for the appraisal assignment, reason. Number 2, the value to be determined and how it is to be expressed. So highlight value. And how can you define the value basically? The interest to be valued. Highlight the interest. So what kind of interest? Fee simple,
leasehold.
Yeah. So highlight reason, value, interest, and the appropriate date of a valuation. So basically appropriate means the right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
First step this one. Reason, value, interest, and
Appropriate date.
Second step in the appraisal process, collecting and analyzing data. So you collect the data and then you analyze it. Analyze basically you compare it with others, right? On the subject property and comparable property. Physically, if the subject property has five rooms, right? So you compare it with other 5 rooms. The third step in the appraisal process, the appropriate appraisal method are chosen. So appropriate means right appraisal method, and values are estimated using the estimated value. For example, you have 5 bedroom, each bedroom's value say $10,000. So the next door in the same area property has 4 bedrooms. So you add the value, right? Expression of value. Value in most cases is expressed as a capital sum. So highlight capital sum or lump sum. My house is worth $200,000. But value can be expressed as an income flow or rental value. Highlight income flow or your house is worth $500 per month or $6,000 per year. If you are getting $500 rent, so annually is $6,000, right? Lump sum known as capital value appraisal. So what do we call lump sum? Capital value appraisal. Next is income or rental, known as rental value appraisal. So rental value. This is when a tenant leases space for 10 years. So 10 years. For example, but the lease will provide for a rent review in 5 years to reflect. So after 5 years, so you may change after, right? 5-year review you can highlight. Interest to be valued. Usually it is the fee simple. So generally it is a fee simple. So what is the fee simple? No qualification required to inherit the property.
Yeah.
But it could be long term, right?
Yeah.
Prepaid leases, so long term, prepaid, or air space right. So next, date of valuation. The specific date of valuation is important. So highlight specific, highlight important. Because value can change within a reasonably short period of time. Anytime you buy a property, buy in November and December. Why?
The values are low.
If you buy, people are listed, right? And you buy the property because in January, most of the time, it goes up.
Yeah.
You understand, right? So if the value of the property goes up every year, 6% or 10%, right? So in 5 years, what happened now? In 5 years, your property is almost 65% more.
Yeah.
Not 50%, maybe say 65 to 75% more.
Yeah.
Because if you bought for 500,000 this year, next year is 550. If you know, say the 10%, right?
10%, yeah.
And the following year is 55,000 more, right?
Yeah.
And the following year is 60,000, right? If you add all those numbers through, right? So it will be almost maybe 60% now,
One
right?
and a half probably.
Okay, so date. So legal status of property one day could dramatically change the value of a property or zoning or bylaw changes. So under legal, zoning and bylaw. If I have a residential property, it's changed to the commercial, you're laughing. If it's agricultural, change to the residential, you're laughing, right?
ਬਾਉਂਡਰੀ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਇੰਟਰਸੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਿੰਗਸਵੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜ਼ੋਨਿੰਗ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਾ ਲਈ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ 8 ਘਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਬਾਏ ਕਰ ਲਏ 4 ਫਰੰਟ ਵਾਲੇ 4 ਬੈਕ ਲੇਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਜਾਂ ਸਟੋਰ ਖੋਲੂਗਾ
So basically you can do that, right? And the next is before an appraiser can decide upon the most suitable appraisal method, the nature of the development of the subject property must be looked at, since this will help eliminate some potential appraisal method. So basically look at the most suitable appraisal method. Next is latent value. Does this house have potential for development, redevelopment? Latent value means potential for a, there is mostly common example. Let's say the one rancher, sitting in downtown street, right? Has dash latent value, dash value, dash has a latent value. So this is the question normally comes. For example, my house, the White House next door to the Chevron gas station, right? So had a latent value that time, right? So if the Chevron buys it, they can put up a tumor on it, right? So property, so highest and best use, the highest best use. Ask yourself, if this building burned down today, would the same building be constructed in its place? Property might not be used for its highest use. It might not be yielding the maximum net return to the hand. So not yielding. It means for my White House is not used, for the best use right now. It is residential, right? But if the same property goes next to the Chevron, they apply for a Tim Horton or something, they get it, right? So it's the best use. Next is in condo A, house condo B, right? So these are the selection of appropriate appraisal method, comparative method mostly comes. Comparing your house to my house subject property and comparing what you have and don't have and adjusting your sale price. Involves collecting, analyzing market sales data for similar properties which have recently sold. So comparative method, basically you're going to use it when you list a property, you're going to compare
last 3 months sales?
Yeah, last 3 months, 3 to 6 months, Next is income method. Comparing other rental building to my rental building. So the income generating properties, right? And comparing income they produce. Analyze the future benefit and a sale price of property that are similar to the subject property. Gross income, net income and cash flow. So if you are comparing with the rental property, you are going to compare with the rent. Third is the cost method. Used when there are no comparable to use. So we cost it out. There are no comparable to use. Assume the market value of property is equal to the value of vacant site. Equal to the vacant site. Plus the cost of a construction.
Yeah.
It's constructing the improvement basically.
Constructing the improvement.
So land plus building, right? Value of current vacant site plus replacing the building and minus depreciation equal to market value. So basically you remember cost means value of a lot plus building minus depreciation.